Good morning, good day, good evening, whatever your time zone may be, doesn't matter, you are here for VRL and VRL only, and today we are here in the landscape of Japan, alongside me, Alex Bomberg. Welcome, Alex.
Good morning, good day, and good evening to all of you.
Yes, we're live. Took 5 minutes delay, but everything's okay. And
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. Let's just keep it that way. I have been on the phone with my internet company, so I generally have.
Have you?
I'm not joking. I generally have been on the phone with my internet company, and you can see I've beaten you in the race to greatest internet connection. But okay, let's not talk about our internet. We are here.
To the internet company.
Yeah, raging, fuming. Okay, let's just talk about the championship battle. Massive surprise.
Very tight.
Yeah, still very tight, but it could be an elimination for one of the drivers who's possibly still in the championship battle. Sam, who's not here today with us, the championship leader, not racing today, and he will not be scoring any sort of form points.
That's not going to help him. Also, Thomas in the Williams serving a qualifying ban. His 7 penalty points are picked up for switching to Williams mid-season, starting to come back to bite him now. He is a championship contender.
Yeah, yes, and so some good inroads can be made by Marine, Felix, and Tim, and Steve, who's also, especially those last two, are the furthest behind, but still very much within a shot. One win could change everything. This circuit is not really a favorite of any of the drivers. That's what I know, at least.
Well, we had the F2 race yesterday, and that was quite crazy. I think I ended up finishing 7th after a race-long battle with, with both the Red Bulls. It really shows that, although we've got a track like Suzuka, and lots of twisty, slow corners, and in theory, the drivers should be really effective with the dirty air, but the F2 race just proved yesterday that it's not going to make a difference, and the drivers really can take it to each other around the Suzuka circuit.
It's gonna be interesting in turn one. Very tight corner, and it's proven in the past where if one driver does tend to spin out, it can be fatal for any of the others. It's a difficult place to avoid any crashes, so that's gonna be interesting. And we have Felix going out. Probably going to be the first car, unless he's going to get jumped here. No, he's not. He's going to be the first car to come out. No, his car's just slowed down right in front of the Williams car of who's that? I believe that is not Thomas, who should be serving a qualifying ban. I can't really see. I really am looking forward to this tight championship battle.
Yeah, just about that championship battle. I'm on board with Felix at the moment. You mentioned him coming out of the garage, Sam. We learnt that midweek, obviously technically both of their drivers are still in the championship battle. Tim on a bit more of a back seat. Tim has said that he's committed to winning Renault the Constructors' Championship and helping his teammate, which is Felix Flix VO3 I should say.
Yeah.
Committed to helping Felix win the championship. So Tim surprisingly taking a back seat and playing the team game.
Well, that surprised me as well, but yeah, he's not that far behind, and I'd just like to give an honourable mention to this man. He's not in the championship battle because he joined from Singapore, I believe. Got himself up to the podium with post-race penalties for the other cars, and himself getting some penalties removed. And he's definitely within a good shot of winning today's race. I believe top of the standings in the time trials, and he's just looking very quick, and unlike some other drivers around here, very confident about this circuit.
Who's this? Is this Ash, the McLaren?
Indeed.
Indeed, I thought so. You cut out a little bit, so I couldn't quite hear. But yeah, Ash looked strong. He obviously debuted last time out in Singapore.
Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Sorry, I said that there, but I believe that was one of the Mercedes. No, it was Phil trying to go for a move on Ash as he was trying to start his lap. He got past, and what's this? What's Phil doing?
I think it was Marine.
No, I'm sure it was Phil, because Marine was just coming up to that chicane, but he tried to go...
Looks like Vaporeon, sorry just to cut you off there Sam,
yeah.
Vaporeon's gone off at one of the Degners, and that's his lap ruined, before it basically got started. But yeah, sorry, what was going on?
Yeah, Phil tried to go for, Ash was just coming around to start his lap. He went for a move, and then Ash tapped him at the back of his car, and then he went spinning around, and then he was parked in the middle of the chicane, so could be some calibrating issues, and we have Sam out of the session. I wonder...
so he's crashed just under the bridge. Just seen going on board with Niltix there. I'm not sure how he's managed to crash there. It's a really peculiar place to crash. He's gone off
Let's
on
see if we can pick it up.
right hand side,
yeah.
I think.
I can see him, Bats there as well. His teammate out of the session as well. Oh, look at Phil! Look at Phil again. Oh, he spun around again with another car. Did you catch that, Alex? He spun around with another car, and Phil was having some serious issues, I'm sure. Or
Phil's just put in a 27.8 for me. I'm not sure if you're seeing the same thing I am.
I don't believe so, as Phil's just coming around the first chicane. Wow, I'm having some massive desync with Phil here.
Yeah, Phil's put in a 27.8, just behind Felix, who's done a 27.7.
He's coming up to 130R from me right now. Very weird.
Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
Well, he's just going through the first Degner.
Oh,
what's going on?
I have no clue. You're probably after asking this. He did also set a time as me, but on my screen he did also set a time. It's a massive desync here between me and Phil. I did some open lobbies with him the other day, and his internet was horrible. Like, seriously horrible. You couldn't see where he was going because he was lagging all over the place. I tried taking him out once, but I failed all the time because he just lagged all over the place.
Yeah, a little bit. So hopefully Phil, if they are issues of his, he can sort them out very soon. In third is the Toro Rosso. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Bowl 3. Yeah. He actually won the Tier 2 FEL race this morning.
Did he?
Which I also competed in.
You're becoming a bit of a Tier 2 goat here, mate.
I know. I'm a solid Tier 2 driver.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah. I don't think I could break into the top, guys. But yeah, he won this morning in Tier 2 of Formula Euro League. Yeah. He's up in P3 at the moment, so ahead of Dylan as well, who's been on a very solid run of form, considering he does have front wing damage, so I'm not sure how much that's affected his lap.
Oh, and a very weird crash early on the session by both Alphas here.
Yeah, that very strange.
Could have come together. They were pretty far apart, weren't they?
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, they were completely. I think Brett went off at one of the Degners, and then as Tim goes P2, just a couple of tenths behind. P3, sorry, just behind Felix. But yeah, it was very weird. Sam went off just under the bridge, and Brett went off a couple of corners before. So can't imagine that's a strategy.
No.
Looks like all the drivers opting for the soft tyre as well. It's usually pretty easy one-stop soft to mediums around the Japanese Grand Prix. Got some overcast conditions, I'm not sure how much that's going to impact the drivers, but Felix currently on pole. He's just come into the pits now.
He is, and
out the pits.
He is, and it's gonna be I wonder who's gonna be on pole. I really am. Felix.
Could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone, but with a victory for Felix. Or hey, look at that! It's raining. If you
it's raining,
just go
it is raining.
Overcast conditions. Overcast conditions turn into wet conditions, and that's going to be huge for the people who have not set a lap time just yet.
Of course, Marine, championship contender, not set a lap yet. He's just starting his lap, so he's really going to be effective. He's got to put in a good lap now. Jar FIFA, of course, he's not qualifying today. Ash as well, though, who's just coming up to the hairpin now. It's better than what, say, Marine has, but it's still not great. And someone like Dylan, who definitely has more potential, and TTG Vaporeon, who's actually managed to get back out on a lap after that mistake earlier. But Steve's still in the pits. He hasn't set a lap. Luke also just on a lap. These drivers are really going to be affected. So someone like Felix and Phil, and even Tim, and the Toro Rosso in P4, who've got really solid banker laps so far. This is, they're in a good position now. As Ash just coming through 130R now, taking the short line into the final chicane. It doesn't look. It looks relatively grippy still. The rain isn't going to make a massive impact straight away, but these drivers are still going to get a good lap in as Ash goes P2.
And P2 it is for him, as you say. Very impressive drive in these weather conditions. And
yeah, as I said, I'm not sure how much it's going to impact. Just half a tenth separating Felix and Ash. You've got to think that without the rain, Ash would have been on pole.
Yeah, only less than a tenth between them. And as I did say earlier, Ash was looking very strong on this circuit, but a P2 will not be optimal for him, but it will do for him. And we have the first retirement, which I believe is a manual retirement there.
Yeah, Luke went straight on
is the point? Yeah,
but
how
Marine,
much
whilst all that was going on, Marine went up into P4, so to cut you off there, Sam.
Oh yeah, no problem there, but surely everyone's gonna have to retire because there's no real use anymore in going on. This is really rain is becoming heavier, not less, and I hope we won't have a useless qualifying session as he spun round. Marine has spun round there.
Yeah, Marine has gone round.
It shows the disconnection 1 for Phil here.
Place your bets. How many is going to be? I'm going to say 3.
4.
4.
Yeah.
Just on that note, do we have the safety car turned off?
It should be. I hope it is.
I believe we do. We had it off in F2 and it led to some incredible racing.
It's supposed to be off. I hope it is off. Phil has disconnected. I wonder if he's going to get back to capitalise on that fantastic P3 position here. I hope if he does rejoin back, he's going to have to do it in 7 minutes and maybe even faster, considering everyone's probably going to retire from the session. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to see if I can ask Marine if he disconnected from both party they are in and the game. And Marine said Nitlik cost him pole position. So some bad blood between the Racing Point and the Mercedes driver, who are obviously in the fight for the constructors. I'm just asking Marine, hey, look who's back, it's Phil. Rejoining number 2. And Alex, are you still here with us, or I'll take that as a no, and Steve is coming up to the line. No, oh, he's here! Last place, things haven't gone his way since he last won his victory. Everything looked so up for him. Actually, one of the few drivers to actually, to win races this season, but he hasn't been really consistent. Unlike his last time out, when he did win the championship, he won a few races and he just kept the consistency up. This time, he has failed to do that, and it's going to be hard to win the championship once again. And I reckon not much is going to happen because it's raining harder than it's easing up. So we do have Dylan on the lap here. Let's see what he can do. He's on an outlap.
Yeah, I don't think there's much point in any of the drivers going for anything at this point. You saw Steve 1.8 seconds off. Niltix as well in the Racing Point, 1.6 seconds off, a whole 7/10 of a second behind the next driver up, which is the Red Bull of Bourne.
I believe Nidlix did set his time on the dry conditions, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, but a faster racing, can he do anything about that? That's gonna be a good indication if it's still a point of running out there, and he doesn't improve on his time. It's a maximum P10, and really, I reckon everyone would retire. That would be nice.
Yeah, the Haas, he was 2.7 seconds off on his lap. So it's really, I'm watching Dylan now.
Yeah.
Just,
Take
I
us
can't see him improving.
take us on a lap, Alex, with Dylan. Oh, look at that!
Big slide out the final corner. There's a massive bump there, and it really did affect us in F2 yesterday. And I'm sure it's going to affect these drivers just as well. So hopefully they can all cope with it. Turn 1 is really awesome. So is the whole of the first sector. You're throwing it in to turn 1, trying to get it slowed down for this second part. Turn 2, back on the power. You can use the curb there. Big slide from Dylan as they're going left now into this big. You go left. Throw it right, and Dylan's off into the wall.
Dylan's off, and meanwhile Vaporeon has retired as well. That only
I think
leaves...
that shows the lack of grip.
Yeah. Well, there was a short lap from Alex and Dylan there.
Yeah, I think if you put that lap together in that time, I think he would be on pole. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he only navigated 5 corners. I think that really shows the lack of grip. You don't see Dylan making mistakes very often, at all.
Oh, look at this! Steve just sent me a picture of qualifying, and it says it's gonna be a dry qualifying, but as we can see, it really wasn't.
Yeah, maybe. Not sure if the drivers though. You still got Ash, Phil, Marine, M Short 17, Avesta Racing in the house, and Niltix. They're all still in the pits, so yeah, possibly this is leaning towards it drying up.
Could it?
I don't know. I personally, looking from this pit lane shot, it looks a bit brighter, right? It looks a bit brighter.
Yeah, but no way you're gonna clear up in 3 minutes, and obviously there's still gonna be a rain left. There's no way the track conditions are getting any better, so even if it does dry up, I don't think anyone's gonna get any opportunity of this. And some drivers, including me, are wanting everyone to retire.
Yeah, well, obviously Ash up in P2. If there's a sniff of pole, he'll go for it. Phil's now finally retired, put himself out his misery. I'm sure Marine will follow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
maybe
I mean,
if we had 5 more minutes at the end of the session, maybe it would become back to somewhat a dry track in Marine now at the session.
As Marine retires, you can hear the crowd scream.
Yeah. And they go crazy. But it looks like this is going to be our grid.
Yeah, just like Austria, remember? The same season. Do you remember Austria qualifying with the same kind of scenario here?
I have a terrible memory, so... No.
Oh, yeah. It basically was like Austria. It went from dry to wet.
Fair enough. Seems to happen quite a lot in qualifying. I'm really interested to see what the weather's looking like for the race.
Yeah, I'm also very interested. Shall I ask the question to the drivers?
I think you should.
Well, I'm just asking right now. Is it wet for the weights? Question mark? Well, I have not got any answer, and Nitlix has come out of the pits to retire. And Ash is the only one. We're gonna be wasting probably one. Doesn't retire, and he has retired. Luckily, he waited on the last few cars to retire, and the qualifying session has ended a minute early, and he's only only less than a tenth of pole. And look at that gap between Philip and Felix here. Very short gap, less than a tenth between those two. The race is going to be dry. At least that's what the forecast said. The forecast also did say it was going to be dry qualifying. So, but it looks like there's going to be a dry race. Do you think that changes anything, Alex? Or rip Alex. We're about to get on the way here. Formation lap. Could be very interesting. I think the dry conditions will change the race a bit. As Ash will be looking to take profit of his amazing pace in the dry. He nearly got the pole position.
Do we have full dry conditions?
We do have full dry conditions. It's full dry.
Full dry. We should be looking at, as I mentioned in qualifying, an easy one-stop for most of the drivers. If they get damage on lap 1, it becomes a little bit more problematic. We might see some of them diving in for a 2-stop for 2 mediums, or maybe pulling in for a set of hards if they want to make the distance.
You did a 1-stop in F2, right?
I did do a 1-stop. The rear tyres were a little bit borderline at the end of the first stint. And I wasn't really battling much because my DRS broke very annoyingly, so I couldn't catch up to the top 5 and just dropped back into the clutches of both the Red Bulls. But I wasn't battling much at all, and I still managed to
get a P6, really, P7?
I think, yeah, P7 in the end. Considering I didn't do too much practice, I'm relatively chuffed with that. More points for the Haas team. We're trying to get them off the bottom of the standings. I think we are now, actually. So we've got 3 races left, and we just want to try and push up as much as possible.
Yeah, be sure to be sure to check out the F2 channel over F2 races as well. There's some cracking races there with Alex.
Brilliant stream as well from Adam.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And a cracking, how do you say, cracking scenario. We have Ice-T came VEC or Ice-T, I believe, or he changed his gamer tag, right? It's something with Ice-T still, and he has got the promotion up to F2, but he's decided to go one more race in USA, and after that he moves up to F1, and the championship will be wide open, so it will be almost like the scenario of Rush in 67, where Niki Lauda was unable to race and James Hunt had a massive gap to close. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to unfold.
Yeah, there's currently a gap of 45 points with 3 races left in F2. Fletcher trying to close up. Fletcher absolutely dominated here yesterday. Probably one of the most dominant drives that I've seen.
Ever seen, yeah.
Yeah, in a league race, which is just credit to him, and hopefully for our sake and for the viewers' sake, we have a little bit more action at the front than that. But as you said, it was absolutely jam-packed with action yesterday, and
I watched good racing. I wasn't able to follow all of it. Sadly, because I was also halfway through editing some VRL videos, but in the end I was able to catch the qualifying, which was already pretty fun, with Adam always keeping the viewers entertained with some interesting questions. So you should definitely check it out. Yeah, we do. But this time it's time for VRL, also another cracking championship battle. And Felix lines up into his P1 alongside Ash Best here. And is he going to be able to steal anything off him?
Both Mercedes on the second row. Marine, the championship contender, behind his teammate. What's he going to be able to do?
I don't know, but what I do know is Sam has just lined up into the last spot on the grid. And we are able to get this thing on the way. It's going to be a very interesting race. Felix on pole position. Let's go out of the way we go, and I think Ash Minus a better start than Felix here. He's immediately alongside, he's going to be ahead of him. No, he's not. And both Mercedes are going side by side coming into turn 1. Paul's just backed out of that. And Tim looks to make his way around the outside of Ryan Olibold there alongside him. Can't get the move done, and he remains in P5, and Ryan remains in P4, but he's just overshoot himself there. And now Tim is alongside, and he is past P4 for
Red Bull
Tinder.
Backwards. Contact at the back between Darth FIFA. Darth FIFA's off, and I think he's got damage. That's a massive blow to his championship challenge. He got caught up with the 2 Alphas and the Red Bull of Livid Racing Bjorn, and he's off and lost a lot of time.
Look at Sam. He's got no front wing. I believe on my screen, Darth FIFA, his front wing is still intact. So.
Yes, I think the same, but nevertheless some contact, and that's not going to help him. But back to the front, great start from Felix, controlled the res really well, and he's got a lead now. He's got to try and build that as Phil overshoots the chicane.
Yeah, he's desyncing. He's desyncing a lot. His internet is just horrible.
Yeah, Marine's lost the position to Tim, who's now pushing on, and is right behind Phil.
If we do have to believe the internet connection. Can he go for a move up the inside here? I think he has gone. No, he's not.
No.
I think the drivers are having the same problem as we do. They can't see where Phil is. They simply can't. And meanwhile, Ash is keeping up with Felix nicely. And I think with the DRS soon enabled, I think he is going to go for a move very soon.
Yeah, he's very close, within 0.2 of a second there.
And Phil has left the session. It was inevitable since qualifying where they had a disconnection. The desync was incredible, and now things surely have backfired from him, and he's getting his AI car is getting marked off left, right, and center. Dylan goes past. Luke is the next car to go past him, to go past the ghost car of Phil, and there's just nothing he can do. He really needs to sort out his internet. And I think he might have to make a call to his internet company, just like me. MS Short, next victim to put Phil out of the points here. And he's now truly and welly outside of the points. And within a lap, he's gone from P3 to P12. And it's truly, all jokes aside, very sad for him as he's just unable to normally league race. Steve, meanwhile, going side by side with Vaporeon around the outside there. Can he get the move done in Spoon? No, he cannot. Phil has rejoined, and he will be saddened to see, angry to see that he's dropped down a good 3 positions and now finds himself in pit 12.
Brett's actually retired from the session and gone. I think he's gone straight on at Spoon. I don't think that was to do with contact or anything. But yeah, back to Phil. It's Ash now, right up Felix's chuff. He might actually be able to make a move here for the lead of the race. He's in the slipstream and he's pushing. Will he be able to get that move? He's closing, he's going down the inside of turn number 1. Ash in the McLaren looking to provide a race when he's ahead. Felix gives up the position. We know Felix is a smart racer. He knows that he's got a championship to fight for. He's not going to fight that massively with Ash, who is nowhere in the championship battle. It's his second race here in VRL and he's already taken the lead. And what he needs to do now is extend that lead as Phil is now out of the session.
Where did he crash it? Was that on purpose or did he...
On the exit of turn 2. I think he's gone off into the wall.
Yeah,
that's his race over after 3 laps.
You got a feel for Phil here. The man who, just like Luke, basically can't catch a break. Has been very unlucky, not only this season but all around. His internet's really been his worst enemy. And it's another disconnection and another retirement for Phil here. Felix has his teammate behind him, Tim. He'll be happy to know Tim is looking to help his teammate here. But what do you think, Tim? When we're looking to also get some points to possibly still get himself into the championship fight. I mean, he's only a few points behind with this podium. He could be right back in the fight. He's in front of Marine.
Yeah, obviously Tim, we think he's 14 points behind his teammate Felix. He's obviously still got his own races to run. He did come out and say, he's committed to winning the constructors, and right now for the Renaults, 2nd and 3rd, looking great for them. Their main rivals, their main rivals, Mercedes. Marine, who behind is being pressurised by the Toro Rosso. The other ball. And the other Mercedes is out after 2 laps. So
yeah,
this is looking really good for the Renaults. Whether Tim will sort of go against his word and send one up the inside of Felix, I don't know. Now he's going to be committed to just sitting behind and holding out this 2-3 for Renault.
Yeah, of course, he would close that gap a little bit to his teammate, and I mean, you never know. With after this round, there are only 3 rounds to go. He's got to make up a massive difference, and he might come back on his word.
Of course, I'm not sure if Tim knows the whereabouts of Darth Viper, Steve, all the drivers, or some of the drivers anyway, in good contention, out of the points, and with the removal of safety car for today, they're going to struggle to get back up into good points-paying positions.
They are. They very much are. And Sam's driving very lonely, 23 seconds behind the nearest person. That's Steve. Darth Viper outside of the points as well.
Looks like bowl number 3, pressurising the other bowl of Marine as we go into the final chicane. Marine's actually dropped out of DRS from Tim ahead, so this should be a relatively easy move for the Toro Rosso. He's going to open DRS, breeze past on the straight. Marine's down to P5.
Yes, and that's This is not the way he would have liked to make up some ground on his on Sam and the other drivers. It's becoming more and more difficult for him to win this championship. And,
Dylan is just behind him as well.
Yeah.
And we know the pace of Dylan. I'd imagine, looking at how Moran's going right now, I'd imagine Moran is going to get overtaken by the Haas.
He is. It's gonna be more and more difficult for Dylan to, or for Moran to win the championship, I reckon. With Duffy outside of the points, Steve outside of the points, and Moran falling further back, this could become a 3 or 2-way fight even with both Renaults and Sam. Sam does have a little bit of a breather, but he's gonna lose that.
Yeah, I'm currently on board. I've been running on board with Dylan for the last lap or so. Moran's rear end, it just... Some corners he gets good drive, on other corners he gets absolutely no drive at all. And what that's suggesting to me is he's got some, you know, tyre overheating issues. It's obviously, with the nature of the Suzuka circuit, got quite a few low-speed corners which require a lot of rear-end traction. He seems to be struggling out of them slower corners, also known as now. And it just seems as if his rivals are really gaining on him. And this is something that, you know, it gives me flashbacks to my time of commentating GPR when Moran, you know, he won the championship, but I think classically he's always struggled on traction, and it's sort of coming back to bite him now. It's always been a little burden there over his head.
I believe Moran did tell me he had some pedal issues. I'm not sure if that has got anything to do with him struggling right now, but he did have some pedal issues. He had them in Singapore. He couldn't get the car slowed down when he wanted to in the chicane, and a massive mistake was made when he was passed by Tim, Luke, and I believe another car as well. So Moran's struggling clearly here, and this is not what he wants.
So is Dylan though. Dylan just had a very sideways moment. May lead him vulnerable to Luke, who, yeah, I'll be honest, I had a few pops down the inside of that hairpin yesterday. It's a great move for overtaking, but as any torpedoes down the inside, and you know, we know all these drivers there. The majority of them anyway are very well disciplined and all very clean drivers, and they're showing that today. We're all racing in a very close buffer to one another. Felix all the way down to Dylan, all separated by less than a second between each car. Sort of a little bit of a DRS train.
Yeah,
hopefully they can start to break free. Looks like Avesta Racing in the Haas, putting pressure on R11 Gamer, who won earlier on this season.
And I must say, a yellow flag. Why do we have the yellow flag? It's actually two once. It's been revised. But we were talking about how much Ryan Olibor was struggling. But I must say, Felix is also very much struggling, and he's starting to fall behind his teammate. And I think we might need some technical orders right now.
Felix has dropped 2.5 seconds to Ash in the McLaren. Yeah, that is A, an indicator of Ash's pace, but B, I think Felix is struggling a little bit compared to everyone else because he's holding up a train of his teammate. Obviously the Toro Rosso driver, Moran, Dylan, Luke, and R11 Gamer has started to slowly gain on this train, and he's pulling her on Avesta Racing and M Short 17 in the Ferrari, and that he's actually the one rounding out the points in P10. So we could have a whole top 10 battle for P2.
I think so, and but if I were a Renault team boss, I would want for Felix to let him by. If I'm being totally honest here, he's just holding up his teammate. I think that's the problem right now, and it might be worth letting him go.
It might be, but you know, obviously, we know Tim's got the championship in his head. Felix, of course, will have the championship in his head. Yeah, right now, Felix, the leading championship contender. Or in terms of this race, I don't think
he's close enough for.
Yeah, Tim is close enough. Does he want to make a move though?
Is he gonna?
Yeah, obviously he's running no ERS, or he's gone up to medium now. So I don't think he's too committed to making a move. Meanwhile, Dylan dives into the pits. We saw him having a few issues with his rear tyres through the slower corners. Yeah. Looks like he's gonna call it quits. Medium tyres. That is very early. He'll need 20 laps on them tyres if he is to make the end. I don't see him making that.
No, I don't either. So it's gonna be too stupid for Dylan then, but I must say, this train is really helping Moran here getting back into the pack. He's just catch right up to the other ball.
I think he's managed to close down, or sorry, to reduce the temperature of his rear tyres, because he seemed to be struggling. He seems to have, you know, put his foot back on the ground, and he's really close now to these guys. And yeah, Felix definitely holding up his teammate. However, I think Tim's still holding firm with the belief that he's going to let Felix, you know, drive off and.
Yeah, but is it going to be the best choice though? I mean, you're just losing time right now, and you can always let someone by near the end of the race if you really want to help him championship-wise.
Yeah, of course, and the problem is if, say there's Toro Rosso behind, makes the move on Tim, and, you know, thwacks him out the race.
What? Twat? Yeah. What?
If he thwacks him out the race, I don't curse. I would like to apologise.
No problem.
He thwacks him out the race, and then, you know, he's got damage. Felix is left vulnerable to everyone else. Renault loses a heap of points, and Felix could drop down a lot and
then we're basically
lose his position in the championship.
If that does happen, we're basically in the same position as we were before this race started, with Sam keeping his lead, with FIFA outside of the points, and Steve also down in P15. So we could be having the same scenario. Then the only one who would be making really points up then would be Moran, and that would be, I think he would like that scenario to happen.
Yeah, of course he would, and I definitely think someone like Darth FIFA, who's actually passed the Red Bull of Livid Racing Beyond 75, he's now right at the back of Niltix, who seemed dropping off the pack.
He is.
He's slowly getting there, and I'm sure Darth FIFA will be wishing havoc on the group ahead.
Yeah, he's having a bit of an off day, of course, with that qualifying ban and contact at the start of the race, that with Charles Bradstad, I believe, going out, and then later Phil in lap 2 or 3, I believe. And I just feel, as you can see, Tim is just not really pushing, is he? He's just trying to stay within the DRS. That could also be the tactic of them. Maybe the problem is that Tim doesn't have the pace, and that Felix is just trying to carry him in his slipstream, and that way they're trying to build a bit of a gap towards the rest here. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't really listening. Dylan's gone off, he's made a mistake. He's completely lost his front wing.
Oh.
And
Tim is inside the pits, so is Marine. And who's more, Ash, Tim, Marine have gone into the pits and have fitted a new fresh set of medium compounds, and we can see outside of the pit lane Vaporeon going past, oh no, it was Darfifa going past Nitlix there, and he moves up to provisional P8. Of course, that's gonna come change when he has to make his pit stop. I believe that's gonna be provisional P11 then.
I don't know if that's a little bit too early for them stops.
I don't know, Bjorn also coming.
It's probably 1 or 2 laps early from what they were projected. They're going to have to be quite kind on these tyres if they want to take them to the end.
Dylan's gone for the soft.
Yeah, I don't think Dylan's really going for any positions anymore. He might just try and set a fast lap and retire, because I don't think, especially with no safety car, I don't think he'll be going anywhere.
No, I don't think either.
A shame, as me as a Haas driver, you know, sort of, I'm completely neutral, but it's always nice seeing the Haas guys do well. We've got Avesta Racing now up in P4. Obviously, he hasn't stopped yet. One thing I have found quite interesting is Felix. You know, the so-called Renault number 1 being put, sort of hung out to dry, and, you know, on the longer strategy, it's a bit like a Singapore 29 situation with the 2 Ferraris. Surely he's going to come out behind his teammate now, which is contrary to what, you know, they both came out and said. So Felix and Luke in the pits now. It's a Toro Rosso 1-2.
Yeah, who would have thought that?
Who would have thought?
Of course, Anapol Gamer is on the medium tire, so he's going to go for the longest stint here.
Yeah, we saw a Ferrari do that yesterday. And it really started to benefit him come the end of the race. So I'm not sure if Adipod Game has been tuning into the VRL F2 channel, which
I believe
of course
he has.
all your viewers can do so. And a little bit further back, Tim is ahead of Felix. So the Renaults have swapped.
They have swapped. Was that a move, or was that
pit stop?
A team order? Wasn't it inside the pit stop? So then,
yeah, definitely.
perhaps it just worked out the way they wanted to. None of them lose time, and Tim is now ahead and able to perhaps catch as best, or at least extend his lead to P2, so Felix can have a bit of a breather in to the rest of the pack towards Marine, the other ball, and I believe Luke was also inside that pack as well. So
we need we need to find out his name. We can't call him the other ball.
no. I know how to call him, but Pleasurable. It's a Dutch name, but you seem to stop me struggling with it. So Pleasurable.
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 Cool. Anyway, he is in the pits. Along with M Short, they've taken them tyres quite impressive length. 12 laps is a good shift from them. That's going to put TTG Vaporin up in P2. I'm sure Darfifa will follow through. He's up into P3. Niltic sped into the pit lane. So this is where we're going to, this is where we're going to start to see where the drivers come out. Marine sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as he catches up to Felix.
Marine goes past. Yeah, he goes past.
Yeah, very close.
He goes past. He's just ahead, and he's retrieved his. So I believe that's P4 position. And he goes on to look at fellow compatriot Felix, old rival GPRL, old GPRL teammate, as you know all about that. And
of course. These guys do have a lot of history. They spent 2 seasons together, won the Constructors' Championship in both seasons. But they competed. The most successful driving pairing in GPRL history, so yeah, I think they know what they're doing, and they show that off in VRL.
They are, and pretty calm race so far. Not a boring one, but it's just a calm one. You know, everyone's just sort of standing up to the final stage of the race. At least that's what I'm feeling. Everyone's just sort
I think it's sort of taking a small dull period. Well, not even dull, but you know, it's sort of nulled down a little bit, and as you know, I think we're just waiting for everyone to kind of filter out. We saw Felix struggling earlier in terms of his pace. How will he fare on these medium tyres? He's to be a little bit more confident as he closes back up. Ash sets fast off the Grand Prix. He goes past Delphifa now, so he's now a pit stop ahead of one of the championship contenders. So that'll be nice to him. Ash really running away with it. We said at the start, you know, could he do something like what Fletcher did yesterday and absolutely dominate? And I think he's doing that.
He is. And I think no one's going to be able to stop him, or I think the only one who's going to be able to stop Ash here is himself. Yeah. If he does end up crashing in that sense, but I don't believe that's going to happen.
Or Ericsson. Classic joke. A little bit further back, looks like we've had M Short pass Steve. Steve has been on them medium tyres for 12 laps now. Believe he pitted on lap 1 after solid contact. M Short on fresh medium tyres, so he's made an easy move as Steve sends one back down the inside and he spun round. Silly move from Steve there. Thankfully, M Short didn't get any damage. I don't really know what Steve was thinking there, if I'm honest. His racecraft seems to be a little bit wayward as of recent, and he's not going to score any points there. I'm pretty sure that after today's championship fight is going to be over. Festa
Racing is over and dusted, and Dylan meanwhile retires from the session as he was trying to defend of Bjorn there, but he's retired from the session, and I wonder what's happened there. No safety.
I'm not sure if there's any contact. Yeah, of course. Not sure if there's any contact there.
Me neither.
Clearly not.
Oh look! Felix is past him again.
He is, as we were watching that. It looks like the Taros has got past Marine, so he might go and start putting pressure. I'm not sure if that was an engineered switch or not, but
I don't know. I wasn't able to catch it off on the stream, but Dylan just told me in chat he did give up.
Right.
So nothing much more to fight for, as there's no safety car.
Of course.
And we have 15 live viewers. I want to welcome every single one of them. If you are new, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We have just hit past our 200 subscriber mark. Very proud of that. work as hard as we can to provide some good racing and good entertainment for viewers as well and drivers. That's what we are all about. But back to the racing. It's I wonder what's going to happen at the end of the race. I mean, how long do you want to keep engineering moves like that between the rental cars? I wonder. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen at the end of the race.
A little tactic of pulling each other along with DRS. Me and my Haas teammate in FEL this morning were sort of pulling each other along with the DRS as the other Haas now. The Vesta Racing has left the session. I believe that may be internet related. He didn't seem to be lagging. I'm not sure if he was on for points or not. Nevertheless, it is a shame. Hopefully he can get back into the session as soon as possible. But yeah, basically me and my teammate in Formula EuroLeague started just towing each other along with the DRS. It was at Austria, so you have your 3 DRS zones. 90% of the track is basically DRS anyway. Yeah. So that is a lot more beneficial than a track like Suzuka. So I'm not sure if they're going for that strategy or it just happens to be that they keep overtaking each other. But it looks like that the Toro Rosso, again not going to pronounce his name, but he is right up, or closing up anyway, to the back of Tim. This is not what the Renners need. They don't seem to be the outright fastest cars. They just need they need to catch a break, and they need to just be able to run their own race. And you know, bowl number 3 is not going to allow that to happen. Meanwhile, Livid Racing Luke is right on the back of Moran now as he looks for a little move down the inside of the spoon, as Moran's struggling again with that rear end.
He is, and it's looking like he had a little bit of an uplifting moment in before the pit stops were made, and he had some was able to get past Pleasurable there, but now it looks like it's going to be under attack from P9. Luke goes around the outside of him, and he's even got the job done before we even get to the straight. He is past number 24, Moran here, but he's going to get the DRS here and going to come back. Maybe not such a handy move by Luke to try to pass him before the straight there, and Moran is in front of him again. This is not helping Luke.
Yeah, R11. Well, I set up down to P11 after that pit stop. He's got the soft tyres now. He's, well, the only driver bar one of the Red Bull running them soft tyres. We know Darfifa has got a lot of pace in him. How much can he catch up? It's going to be a really crucial stint here in terms of the championship.
Yeah, it is, and I just want to go back to the front of the grid. We have Ash and Article Gamer. Article Gamer still needs to make his pit stop. But I reckon he's going to be in a good position after his pit stop and on for some good points. Obviously, he's going to be on the soft tyres. It did work out for I believe one of the Ferraris in F2, as you just said earlier. Yeah, going to be interesting to see that. Where he comes out, and Ash, I think Ash going to be very much unstoppable. Especially now he's made a huge gap, and Article Gamer is inside the pit. He's got him, and he immediately gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I wonder where he's going to come out. Has he been able to get the job done and make a big enough gap to go on perhaps even a podium hunt? I mean, he's not that far behind the other drivers. He's going to come out in behind, just about ahead of MS Show, behind Luke and Moran. And he's going to be able to go for a podium chance here. He's going to have to pick up the pace, but it's not another question, that's for sure.
Yeah, Article Gaming just out ahead of M Shaw, I believe. Was that the battle you were on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, also Vaporeon has come out on soft tyres ahead of Darfifa. Interesting there. Not what I expected.
No,
but fair play to Vaporeon to put in that stint. They've got 2 seconds to Red Bull ahead. If they can, get their heads down and get a move on, and hopefully don't trip over each other, they should be looking at, hopefully, or for their sake, a good points haul.
Yeah. And
meanwhile, that Toro Rosso is right on the back of Tim. I believe he should be able to make a move soon, and this will put him on the podium in his VRL F1 debut. So very impressive.
Yeah, very much impressive. But I wonder if his teammate can get up there with him as well. Of course, it's going to be a lot quicker in the last 10 remaining laps. Those medium tires are going to be dead in the end.
And he's not far off, he's only 7 seconds behind him. As Moraine now passed by Luke.
Again in the chicane.
I think what Moraine did there is he sat back to give Luke, or to give himself the DRS. I don't think that's really worked. He's had a bit of a shocker of an exit out of that final corner.
Yeah,
and yeah, he's still behind Luke.
So he's got wrong for him.
And yeah, Del FIFA sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. R11 Gamer has taken about half a second out around that lap. So if he keeps it on the island, he can be looking at another good point. So again, it's not a massive difference between, well, him and second place. So he could be looking at a podium here.
And definitely could, and probably could be the double podium for Toro Rosso. I believe Toro Rosso have never had a double podium in VRL history, so it would be their first. They've won a race, I believe 4 times. One race was won by someone called Jos Hansen, the first season of VRL. He won 3 races in a row, then he didn't win for a very long time. And then in season 4 in Britain, he was able, R11 Gamer was able to win his first race. And take up home 25 points, and it could be on for another podium here if he does tend to speed up. But let's talk about his teammate first. He's right on the back of Tim here, and he could be lining up a move coming up to the next straight. Chicane here, late braking as much as he can. I believe Felix has lost a bit of time to Tim there. Could he take them both? No, I don't think he's going to take them both.
Toro got an excellent run out of that final corner. He's now side by side.
Oh, he's not going to make that.
The Renault, he actually tucked back in to the slipstream.
He has. He's just looking to still carrying on along.
And it looks like normal order is resumed. Again. As Moraine now back in front of Luke. As we go through turn number 2, Del FIFA still behind his teammate as they now get ahead of Steve, who's come into the pits. The soft tyres, his race is pretty much over. I don't think he'll be picking up any points today.
Oh, down the inside goes
another second out of Luke and Moraine as they were battling.
Pleasurable, look to
Sammy, you still there?
I am still there. Hello? It's a problem of the stream, but yeah, Pleasurable looking to make an attack on Tim.
I can't actually hear Sam.
Pleasurable's looking to make an attack on Tim here, and
that's very strange. I'm gonna leave and rejoin
the party here. Okay, Alex just left the party here, then I'll be on my own for a little while, as Alex will be able to get back into this party, and we will be able to resume our commentating here. Yeah, Pleasurable just on the back still of both Toro Rossos. Alex is back meanwhile, and we have Pleasurable still looking to put some pressure on, but he's starting to fall behind. Alex?
Yeah, sorry about that. Your audio just completely cut out.
Oh. I was able to, yeah, I was able to, I hope the stream still was able to hear me. I did hear myself when you just had a little look at the stream. So all's good. We are back, and Pleasurable has lost some time to Tim, but he's looking to make some up again into the S's.
Look at Moraine side by side with the S's, and they nearly touch, and well, I think they do touch actually. And this is really holding R11 Gamer up. He could do with getting a move on. He's got a lot more pace than these two drivers. But it's not the easiest track to overtake as Suzuka nearly said Singapore. That was last time out. Yeah, R11 Gamer really needs to get a move on if he wants to get a really good point score. Meanwhile, his teammate still pressurising Tim, and I think it's only a matter of time until Toro Rosso makes a move on Tim.
I think it is, but I must say he lagged behind the last few laps. He was starting to lag behind Tim here, but he's made some time up again, and he's now right on the back of him once again.
Gamer's going for a move now. He's got past Moraine down the inside of Spoon, doing what Vettel couldn't do to Verstappen a couple of years ago. They both come off. They both come out of it clean with no damage, so he can now make a move and or get a move, I should say, and go and challenge Livid Racing Luke. Just before my audio cut out, I was looking at the championship standings. A really good points haul here for Toro Rosso could close them right up to Haas, which are just in front of them. Well, I say just in front of them, about 40 points separate them. But if both of them
Tim's gone wide. Tim's gone a little, sorry there, But Tim's just got a little wide, and I thought Plausible did have a little look there. He hasn't been able to pull off, of course, as is even with the wider tyres since 2017, very hard place to overtake. Meanwhile, Ash just got himself a 3-second time penalty. That won't hurt him as he's 9 seconds ahead of Felix, but another 2, and he could be shooting himself in the foot there. Meanwhile, Steve sets the fastest lap.
But yeah, this battle for P2 is still going on. Tim doing a good job of holding off the Toro Rosso. And again, R11 Gamer is going to arrive on the scene very soon. And as I was saying, Toro Rosso just about 40 points behind Haas. A good points haul today can really kickstart maybe them closing up, because none of the Haas drivers are going to score. And the Haas are just behind Red Bull, who are themselves just behind Rocket Williams Racing. So yeah, this could really be a really late rise and late resurgence for Toro Rosso.
It could be. It really could be. I think Toro Rosso have just been, well, R11 Gamer has been very consistent. His teammate did leave it out to be sometimes, but now with Plausible coming into the team, he's fighting for a podium in his first race. Good job, fair play. And it's close right up again to. He's gonna lose some on exit here though. What?
Yeah, Darth FIFA is still behind TTG Vaporium.
Yeah. So 1 point instead of
back,
2.
actually. So this is not what you need.
Plausible, no, sorry. Plausible.
Very close though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a look. And I think what he's trying to do is just settle Tim, because at this point he's going to drop out the DRS and then be a sitting.
He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Oh, they've made contact. They touched the wheels there, and I think he might have on exit. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the better exit than Tim. Tim
little
just about remains
from
there.
Tim there, moving across in the brake zone, but now crucially Tim, where he's just within a second of his teammate. He needs that DRS, because if he doesn't have DRS, he's gonna get absolutely the Toro Rosso is gonna breeze past him on the straight.
He is, but he does seem to be within 5 tenths again. Felix just slowed down again to help him, I believe, there, because it went from 8 tenths to very good tactics by Renault here. And they are able to get that double podium if they keep this up. But I must say, Plausible has been closer than he was ever before. He's just round the out. Can he go for a move around the outside here, just like Kimi Räikkönen did in 2005? No, he doesn't do. But he can go for the inside. Unbelievable move there from Plausible. Tim is still hanging his nose in there. Still. Oh, Tim just looks to get his nose in there, but he wasn't able to. And Plausible up to P3. Next target, Felix 03. And Plausible could be on for a P2 here in his second race.
That was his first race even. Well, that was an awesome move. He left it really late. He looks as if he's just going to stick behind and absolutely sent one. It was clean. That will not even get investigated. A little bit of contact. But they, as I was saying earlier, this is not what the Renaults need. I said they just need to run their own race. We've got Plausible, who has a lot of pace. I think he's going to take it to Felix now. And,
I think he's an R11 Gamer. 3 seconds behind. 3.9 behind Tim.
He could come into it if he keeps his tyres alive. They're still relatively fresh. It looks like the Williams have just sort of gone into a bit of a stalemate. Nothing happened. It still looks like Plausible running very low on his ERS levels, so that could hurt him. Obviously, because Tim sat behind his teammate, he's been able to conserve a lot of his ERS. Got yellow flag. R11 Gamer's off.
R11 Gamer, no!
Oh, no!
No, and as just someone said in the stream, in the chat, he said, driver of the day must be either R11 Gamer or Benjamin or Plausible. And it's all gone wrong for him, and he won't be getting a podium, nor will he score any points. That's gonna put Steve into P11 here. And he's just coming out proposing him now. Could he still go for points? I don't believe he can. He's 6 seconds up the road, Nitlex. And Nicholas gonna do the job for Racing Point by scoring 1 point. Perhaps not as much as they would have gotten from Sam here, but it will do. 1 point for a reserve driver is not bad.
It's something at least. Yeah, it looks like Pleasurable still pressurising Felix. That's a big shame for Ardipol Gaming, who's running a great race and I think could have been on the tail of this battle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be. But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. It wasn't to be.
I must say, Pleasurable is not running out of ERS here. So he's gonna have to save some coming into this chicane. Felix goes defensive already coming into this corner where he made up so much time towards Tim, and is he going to be able to do the same towards Felix? We're going to have to wait and see. I don't think he's going to be able to go for a move. He's in 0 ERS, he's trying to save some.
Yeah, Felix has just got too much ERS and is pulling away. Whilst that was all going on, TTG Vaporeon made a mistake. I think his car's still intact, but he's dropped about 7 seconds to his teammate. Delphiva's now up in P8. It's points, but it's not what you would have wanted from today.
Definitely not. No penalties for the top 3, I believe. I believe there's 1 penalty for Espas, but it won't hurt him as he's 11 seconds up the road.
Yeah, Ash doing exactly what he needs to do. And yeah, if he's sticking around for next season, he could definitely be a potential challenger for the championship.
He could be, and Plausible made up some more time towards Felix. It could go right down to the wire here if he is able to get past him. I reckon
he needs to conserve his ERS though. Yeah. That's the problem. Felix has still got well over half a bar. And unfortunately Pleasurable doesn't, because he's had to push to get past Felix's teammate.
He has, and he's on 20 ERS I believe. 17 now. Yeah, that ERS gonna be a bit massive factor here, but I reckon he might be able to do it here coming in. I reckon, as you can see, Felix is going very defensive, coming into to the chicane there.
He actually picked up DRS from the Haas. What a saving grace there for Felix, because I'm sure he would have been overtaken there.
We could see a dive bomb near the end of the race.
We could, and yeah, it's going to be really tense between these guys. A little bit further back, M-Short making a move on Marine now down the inside. So Marine has lost another position, is down to P7. He's losing loads of points here. Crucial points for his championship. His pace isn't there.
It's not there, and it's probably the massive chance to make up some good points, and he has failed to do that. Tim up in P4, Felix up in P3. He's gonna lose massive points. He's gonna gain, he's gonna extend, or he's gonna gain some on the FIFA though. He's in P8, but it's just not what you want really. And Plausible still on the back of Felix. Everything's still possible.
Yeah, just I think Moran's tyre have gone off the cliff. 16 laps old. He was one of the earlier stoppers. He's had a lot of battling to do. Pitted on the same lap as Tim and Ash. They've managed to, due to the nature of their races, to just sort of sit back and conserve the tyres a little bit more. Ryan though, yeah, just struggling with the tyres, and he might even get overtaken by Darth FIFA on this last lap, as Pleasureball's got one more chance.
I reckon he's got 3 more chances. He's got one coming into the first game, and he's got one right now. Can he pull it off? Around the outside into the first corner. Felix is round. Felix is round, and that's exactly not what he needs. Is he gonna come out ahead of Luke? I think he is. That's gonna put him up to P4 there, and now there's a massive choice to make for Tim there. Is he gonna let his teammate pass and give him the P3? 15 points. Would be able to go through either one of the runner boys. It's going to be 12 points for Felix or 15 for Tim. What is he going to do? Is he going to let his teammate by, just like Rubens Barrichello once did for a race victory here for the championship, as John Todd once asked, Rubens let Michael pass for the championship, and he did do so right on the line. Is Tim going to make that same move and keep his words of being the second driver?
Yeah, that was just back to that incident. That was Felix's fault. he had more space on the inside. Pleasure Ball was squeezed to the outside, and there was still contact. With the nature of that corner, it's naturally understeery. So Felix won't pick up a penalty, neither does the drive as well. Just one of those unfortunate racing incidents, and that's dropped Felix a couple of positions, and also. But
look at Ash. Ash wins the race. Ash, dominant drive. Never seen him. We didn't see him much in the broadcast because he was so dominant. And Pleasurable is going to come home and bring a well-deserved P2. That's 18 points for the Toro Rosso team. Tim converts his P3, doesn't let his teammate by, and it's P4 for Felix in the end. And Marine gets past MS Short. Marine in the end doesn't do it, and he even gets dumped by Darfifa, who still makes up a very good drive from last place on the grid to P7, and it's all round a calm but an entertaining race if you ask me. And Nidler's gonna get a P9. He's gonna come out ahead of TTG Vaporeon. I don't know what's gonna do that with penalties though. It's got to be P10 for Netflix. Good job by him, especially for a reserve driver. Can Steve still snatch something away from him? No, he cannot. He actually crashes over the finish line. What a race, though. Near the end, fantastic move from Plausible. Just completely Felix's fault. He just tried to keep his nose in there, even though he couldn't. And it ended up in him spinning and falling behind his teammate. So not another double podium, but this man, dominant. Absolutely dominant. No one could stop him. He was robbed of pole position today with the rain affecting qualifying, but he made it up in the race, and 25 points go to his points tally. And Plausible comes home in his first race in VRL with a P2. Very impressive debut. Just as Ashbest also was able to get a P2 in his debut race, and Tim rounds off the podium in P3. Good job to all three of them. I think they did the maximum they could. And Ash Bashford just unstoppable today. No one could touch him.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what the pace of Pleasurable was like compared to Ash. You know, maybe if he would have started further up and it wasn't a rain affected qualifying, maybe he could have battled with him. A shame for Felix.
Yeah, but self-inflicted if you ask me.
What? 6 points? Yeah. Self-inflicted, but whether them 6 points are going to make a massive difference,
who knows?
We'll have to see.
He at least makes up 12 points towards Sam, and so does, and Tim makes up 15 towards Sam as well. Ashbash in P1 and Pleasurable in P2. I think all-round solid drive, clean drive from all the drivers here today. We have 3 DNFs, Bradster, Phil, and Dylan, who gave up. And if you could do me a favour, can you go get all the 3 guys to
just invite them. Little word from our title sponsors, Hot Lap Mode. Amazing race so far, safety car also working, and looks like Hot Lap Mode is a fan of Pleasure Ball.
Yeah, he is. Could he maybe looking to get him into his Mercedes team there?
Yeah.
Oh, and I just heard steering wheel just went off.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame, and
that's a big shame.
You didn't fight all podium.
I'm doing that now. Bear with.
Okay. No. I thought you said you already did that. So let's see if we can get some reactions in the chat.
I'm trying to spell Pleasure Ball's name. This is really hard for a dyslexic.
It's P-L. P-L.
Got it.
Yeah, nice.
Be interesting to hear from Tim regarding the whole Felix thing. I've suggested the players to you now, and
I'll just accept them. We are. Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, nice. A few suggested players: Ashbash, Plausible, and Tim. Ryan, not happy. Why can't Codemasters make a normal game? Not happy with the game developer there.
What's he complaining about? Is it tires or?
I have no clue. And he asked why am I so slow. Questions asked for him. And
Hey.
hello. Welcome to the post-race interviews. We have Tim and Plausible, and I hope Espresso will be able to join us. I'll start from P3 there. Tim, congratulations on your podium. Very unexpected there.
Yeah,
In the
well,
end.
yeah.
Are you
The
happy
safety
with?
car, no safety car really helped. with
Yeah,
it.
it did. And but can you give us your view on the incident with Felix there near the end, as he had with Plausible? Did you see it happen?
Yeah, I did see it, but I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I don't know if it's either a race incident or it was someone's fault.
Were you in a party with Felix, or?
Yeah, I was.
And was he happy about
No,
it?
he wasn't happy.
No.
Yeah, he didn't seem very happy on the chat, but it just seemed as if a normal racing incident with the nature of turn 1.
Yeah, it
but
is.
nevertheless, you picked up a position, Tim. How do you feel about P3?
Great. It's a long time ago since I got the podium, so it feels really good.
You were talking about in the chat. You were talking about focusing mostly on constructors and helping Felix get the championship. Did it cross through your mind to perhaps give Felix back the place at the finish line to help him in the championship, or are you coming back on your words there and still fully going for the championship?
You got me there.
Yeah, I got you. I did.
Well, yeah, no, yes, I do.
Yeah, you seem to be right back in the fight with those extra 15 points. I think you have as much of a chance as Felix. So if I were you, I would not be playing the second role. Are you still gonna keep that, or?
I'll have to think about it when I see the standings.
You've definitely made up some points there. And moving on to unnumbered P2 driver there. Plausible, fantastic race from you. Congratulations on your podium.
Thanks.
First race, did you expect this, or?
No, completely not. It was like I drove the time trial times and I looked at it and it was like I was P5, P6 or something, and I qualified exactly on that position. So that was quite what I expected. But in the end, P2 never.
No, and yeah, you did have that late move on Felix there, which saw Felix spinning around. Can you talk us through your point of view from that?
Yeah, first of all, Renault were playing games with me. It was like slipstreaming each other, and from my point of view, I gave him enough room, so I think it's a racing incident. And he hit me later on when I was almost outside of the track. I have here a picture. Can send.
We did also see it on stream. Yeah. I think I share the same view as you do. Alex, do you have any other questions for these two gentlemen, as Ash won't be joining us, I'm guessing?
Obviously just well done to the Toro Rosso driver. What was that move that was very late in the day move on Tim? What was going through your head at the time of that move?
Yeah, I went for the outside and I was committed to go around the outside of Tim, but then he braked later than me and just went a little bit wide. So I thought let's go down the inside, and that worked out pretty well. So
it did.
It's a good move. Luckily, there's no contact, and great job from you. Do you think that? Yeah, obviously you didn't have the greatest qualifying. It was rain affected, of course.
Yeah, rain affected. Yes.
How much? Obviously, Ash ran away with everything today. Do you think that, given the clean air and maybe given you started further up, and given more time, do you think you could have mixed up with Ash, or was he just a little bit too quick?
Yeah, if I started more at front, I think maybe I could have battled with him for the first couple of laps. But my tires were done after not many laps. So I don't think I don't think I've could have overtaken him.
It's a good job nevertheless, and if that's the case, then look forward to next week in Kota.
Isn't it next week? I thought it was in 2 weeks. Definitely in USA, but
in 2 weeks. Next time out in Kota.
yeah, next time out in Kota. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Team Implacable. It's been a great race. I feel it's been the safety car off has been a success there. Clean racing, good battling, and a very exciting race. I hope you join us as we continue the championship fight into the USFA. And as Alex said, in 2 weeks. Thank you for joining us, Alex.
No problem. Thank you to the drivers, and best of luck next time out.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks for the race.